Okay, so this is the second attempt at a first uh, go at recording a video. I'm not exactly sure what happened to the first one. I thought I did everything correctly to record it, and it just seems to have vanished into the ether. So, well, as I said in the first one, I don't really know exactly what I'm going to do with this. I might talk about books, I might talk about music, I might talk about philosophy, ideas. I don't know. The first time I did this, I ended up talking about French the whole time because that's pretty much what I do with my life right now. Is I work with disabled individuals, and because of HIPAA, I can't really say much about it, and so I'm not going to. Uh, this will probably be the only time I'll mention it. Other than that, I walk a lot. I try to walk at least 6,000 steps a day, and the thing about walking is, a lot of people might make a commitment to try to walk 6, 10, 20, whatever, thousand steps a day, and they may have a day or two of success. They may think, oh, I can do this because 1,000 steps, 10,000 steps is about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, depending on your walking speed, depending on what you're doing. And you think, oh, I can do this. Well, yeah, some days you absolutely, definitely can. Some days it's not even a burden. Some days you can do even more without any problem. I mean, I've done 20,000 steps in a day, and other than knowing that I walked a whole lot that day, I actually did other things. It wasn't like the only thing I did. Even, 20,000 steps was only about, 3.5 to 4 hours of walking. That wasn't even all that onerous, really. But you will discover over time that there are days when more than 6,000, which is about an hour walking, more than about 6,000 can be tough. Um, of course, it depends on your lifestyle and whatnot. I suppose that if you go to a gym, working out in a gym for an hour is a pretty normal, acceptable kind of thing to do. Working in a gym for an hour and a half to 2 hours is a pretty acceptable, normal thing to do. So, I guess that if you're doing the walking in a gym on a treadmill, that's one thing. Now, I don't like to do that very much. I think that the app that I use, which is an app on my phone, I don't think it records steps on a treadmill. And if it does, I don't think it does it very well because my phone likes me to actually move from place to place. I think it uses GPS. And obviously on a treadmill, GPS isn't doing a whole hell of a lot. So for me anyway, that's not very useful. So, one of the things that this means is I find myself walking in the mall because, where I live, there really isn't a whole lot of interesting options. So, when it's too hot or too cold or too rainy or just whatever else, there's the mall. I do walk on the waterfront some, and there's a garden path or a path that wanders through the city that I use sometimes, and there are a few parking lots I've walked around, a few neighborhoods I've walked around, and on occasion even like, in a Walmart or something because, but, if you do this for a while, you realize that one circuit through Walmart is about 1,000 steps. And so, do you really want to walk around Walmart 10 times? I don't know if the employees care. I've never gotten hassled by anybody, but after a while, you just start feeling weird walking around in circles in a grocery store when, you're maybe not buying anything, or at least buying minimal things like maybe just a drink or something. So, but I've done it, and I'll do it again, I'm sure. Yeah, so I do that, and I don't make a habit of forcing myself to do it every day anymore. I did for a while, but then I sort of decided that, that was not really what I wanted to necessarily spend my time on. That if I had the time, sure, no problem. But I wasn't going to force that. And that's where French comes in, because that's what I do with the rest of my time is I do French. And I've been trying to learn French since at least middle school. I took a French class in ninth grade, I think, which was middle school for us, I believe. And then I took high school French. And I went into college and took, I think I tested out of the first year of French because of my French background already. And then I got in the second year of French, and I took two French courses, which would have been 12 hours of French altogether, French college, college French. And then a minor in French is 15 hours. So that was one more course. And I remember distinctly I took that course, and in like the first week or two, I knew I was done. That at that time, I wasn't going to make it. And so I quit. one 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 class short of the minor. I did get a minor in history and a minor in philosophy, as well as my undergraduate bachelor's in English, which kind of wasn't where I was headed when I started out. But I started out in a very different place. I mean, I started out, I was um, a civil engineering major because what I wanted to do was, I thought, was architecture. Now, to be honest, I don't really even know why I was so particularly interested in architecture per se, because it's not like my particular background or my interest up to that point had indicated any great strong interest in architecture. But, I took my calculus, and I took my physics, and, most college courses are 3 semester hours, and this particular college calculus course was 5, and I got a C in it, which destroyed my average, my GPA, and destroyed my confidence and my ability to do that kind of math. And then I took a physics course, which I don't know if it was just the crappiest textbook ever written, the crappiest teacher ever born, a combination of the two, my interests changing, but it just it just didn't work. I mean, I remember distinctly that a lot of it was like, the example he would do in class was pretty straightforward and obvious. And then you get to the homework, and the homework was like just way, way, way more complicated. And the book had errors in it and the answer key, so that wasn't helpful. And then he was just not good at explaining the stuff. And I mean, we take a test, and I think the highest grade in the test was a 30%, and that would be rounded up to an A. So there's a serious curve in the class, and I don't remember if I got a C. I don't remember if I failed it. I don't really remember. But between that course and calculus, I just gave up on science. And at the same time, I mean, this was in 88, postmodernism, post-structuralism was all the rage. And I was right on board with that. I was right in the cutting edge of all that stuff. And, so I took this novel course where we read The Crying of Lot 49 by Thomas Pynchon, and I got all into, postmodern literature, and was upset that we weren't reading Gravity's Rainbow, because that was the challenging book. The Crying of Lot 49 comparatively was kind of Well, I could go on about The Crying of Lot 49 much, because I did my master's thesis on it later, but that's a different story. But anyway, so I wound up, doing that, and wound up, just really just gravitating towards the English. And, I found myself doing things like helping people write papers, and or seeing my friends who'd sit in a dorm room, and they would be up on their bed, and they would be working on a paper, and I would be down over in the corner, whatever, working on physics or calculus, and I was hating what I was doing and really into what they were doing. And so, I switched. So, and let's just leave this here. We'll see how things go. Let me know what works and doesn't work. Okay.